Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to cover everything you need to know about GME Gamestop. I'm going to provide you with a very detailed technical analysis as well as giving you a good understanding of exactly where and how you should be taking a position in GME today. And of course I'm going to do this super quickly and keep the video short because I know that's the way you like it. So, for those of you who don't already know, GameStop has been getting fucked these last couple of years. Every year, people buy more and more digital games, and GameStop loses customers rapidly. In 2009, 80% of video games sold were physical. In 2018, however, only 17% of video games were actually sold in a store. So, obviously, this means that the economy has been trash for GameStop. They have been cutting their dividends, and the stock price has been crashing down all the way from a all-time high of $64 all the way down to a bottom of $2.5. But now something has changed, obviously. We're now instead in a massive bull run. We went from $2.5 all the way up to $22 and then back down to $18.84 as we speak. And for this, I see three main fundamental reasons. The first one being their new partnership with Microsoft. Finally, some new innovation is coming to the company. The second reason being that many influential people have been making big investments into GameStop, thereby attracting more investors to the company. And the third reason, of course, the Wall Street bets hype for this specific stock. And as you know, these guys don't give a shit about fundamentals, and therefore, logically, the best way to analyze GME's recent activity is through looking at the graph, because at the same time, it is also very difficult to say how GME should be valued from a fundamental perspective, as always when innovation is added, which clearly has been added to GME now. So let's look at the graph and let's zoom into the 4-hour time frame. So let's start off by the basics. I've drawn out the support and the resistance. The support is looking real nice and obvious. The resistance, however, could be drawn differently, but I think this is the most accurate and relevant way. The trend has clearly reversed from the big crash up to this massive bull run. We have lots of momentum and the trend is looking real positive. However, I would like to acknowledge the short term, which is looking negative. We're going down right now. So therefore, I'm going to draw this resistance line. And this might not make sense just yet, but I'm going to show you what I have noticed in this graph. So if we do this for the last the two biggest moves in this trend and the two most recent moves, we can see that the same thing has happened twice in a row. So what has happened is that we have spiked up, we have hit the resistance, in this case a little bit above, but it doesn't matter, and then we have crashed back down again and went sideways until we reach this breakout point where we have spiked up once again, hit the resistance once again, and then again we've crashed down, gone sideways for a little bit, but then crashed down and again reached this point of where a breakout is able to come. So what has happened now is that we once again spiked up and hit the resistance, and then we bounce back down, and now we're kind of in the middle of this process. I believe we're on the way of again crashing all the way down and hitting the support again, and I think this needs to happen for us to once again spike up. And what we're seeing is bigger and bigger moves every single time. So hopefully we are going down and hitting the support, because then we have a great opportunity to read the past and once again spike up, and we can be expecting an even bigger spike this time. Another tool that I think is very relevant and useful for this stock, because this stock is of such high volatility, is the Fibonacci retracement lines. So if we look at this, one of the recent big moves here, we see that we break out from this level here and we spike all the way up here, and then we go back down and bounce off of 0.5, which is very usual, of course, for the Fibonacci retracement lines. What is unusual, however, is that we not much hours later break down all the way down to almost where we started. And this shows us that this 0.5 level is not really to be trusted in this stock. We can see the same thing here in in the very first spike here, where we went all the way up to here from the breakout right down here. So we break out and we go all the way up here, and then we bounce back down and we get support at 0.5. However, later on we bounce back down anyways. We crash back down anyways, almost to where we started, and we instead we find our support at this support line here, which saves us. So it's the same thing here, and it's the same thing here, which can tell us that uh, if we look for the same pattern here in our most recent breakout, we can see that we break out from this level here. Sorry, that's not how you're supposed to draw it. We break out from this level here and we go from here all the way up to here, and we see that we go back down and we get support at 0.5, and we start going sideways. And we've seen this 2 times before here. We started going sideways and then we broke down all the way back down to the support, and the same thing goes for this scenario here, where we go up, we bounce back and go sideways for a little bit, and then we crash down anyways. So this might tell us that we are on our way going sideways, and as we did in the past, we're going to break down all the way down to the support. And this is actually something very positive, and I'm going to discuss this. So right now we are seeing this sideways movement. So if we were to keep on going sideways and break out through this resistance, and let's say we make a nice breakout and we go all the way up to here to the resistance, because this resistance won't be broken. It's simply too strong, and I mean it's the whole trend. So I think it will be very unlikely that we break this resistance. So if we go up all the way up to here, and that's a 33% increase, and that's good. But I think that most people watching this video expect bigger profits, because what we've seen here is that we've made an 85% increase in just a couple of days. So what we saw was that it went sideways and then it crashed down. So what happened was that not only did we get more time to acknowledge this gap, so if we were to break out from here, we would have only made like a 30% increase. Instead, we broke down. Of course, we could buy the stock much cheaper and therefore also make a big gain. But also we got more time for the resistance to go further up. Um, so instead, we went all the way up to here from all the way down there. So that's a much bigger increase. So that's what I'm hoping for this time also. And I think it's very likely that we go back down to this level, and I think that will be a great opportunity to take a big position, because if we do go back to this level, not only do we see this very hard support, we see that the pattern has that this thing has happened many times. The last two big moves looked exactly the same. So I'm really hoping for us to go back down here, hit a breakout, and go all the way up to there, and that's a 74% increase. So that would be great. And also at this exact level, we can also see that we have a good support as well from here too. So this is a great level to take a position right here. On top of this trade, I also want to show you another possibility. And for this, we need to look at the big picture, which could be very important at times. So we can see that a very important support or resistance line, depending on which way you're coming, is right here. So we hit so many times on this line, right here, 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 and then a few times here, another one here. I mean, not exactly, but you're almost hitting here as well. And we have surpassed this quite easily, but this could be an important level, because at the same time we can see that our Fibonacci retracement line uh, uh, also supports this level. This 0.38 also supports the exact same level, and we can also see that there has been a resistance at the same level very recently as well, at these 2 points. So it is possible that we do not follow the pattern which happened, breaking down all the way down to the support level again, here and here. Instead, we may bounce off of here, and that would mean that uh, instead of going back down here and getting a big move, we might get a smaller move going up to here. And as we measured before, uh, this is not really great if we want big moves, because this is only like a 40% increase, which is good as well. So that's another position that you could take. You could enter at here or here. I would much rather enter here, because I think that the pattern is very strong, and we also have the support level, two support levels, both supporting this. But this could be a possible trade as well. So there we have a few short-term price predictions for the next couple of weeks. I think that it is quite likely that we do bounce up and spike up once again and hit resistance one more time. But after that, it's very hard to say what will happen. So make sure that you are subscribed, because when we reach that point, I will for sure make another video on this stock. But until then, I'd like to also touch briefly on what I believe will happen in the long term. The stock has been getting a lot of attention in media, in the Wall Street bets. People are going to and already have been making huge profits on GME, and the big reason for this is that the power of the stupidity of the retail investor has been greatly underestimated, or some may argue that this stupidity is in fact genius, because clearly it is working for a lot of people. And it is like, it's the oldest trick in the book, is to simply follow the trend, which is what people are doing right now, and just pumping GME, and Wall Street bets, as a kind of self-fulfilling prophecy, is itself a great big trend. But it is also easy to see where this will go wrong eventually. When the price has been so largely separated from the reality of the fundamentals of GME, this must at some point be fixed, and this fantastic dream will eventually inevitably come to an end. And this will happen once people are starting to take profits and reality finally catches up, because as you know, the retail investors are not in it for a long run in this stock. I think that people don't really care about the company; they just want to make a quick profit, which is, of course, it's great if it works, but what's important to note is that GameStop is not much better than before, and people know this. So if we look at what level it was before, before all this media and the news, it was at around $5. And what has happened since then is that we have went from $5 to a top of $22, which is a 356% increase. And you know, the deals that GameStop has been getting, and the media attention and new investors, it is not worth like a 4 times increase. It's not much different from what we saw back here when GameStop was in a lot of trouble, because GameStop still is in a lot of trouble. They are not they're not doing quite so well. So to summarize, I think that we can be expecting one more spike up. However, after that, I think that we are very unsafe. We're probably already quite unsafe, of course, because this stock has a lot of volatility. Um, um, but I think that after the next spike, then we're probably on our way to crashing back down. So however you wanna use this information is of course your choice. If you wanna buy calls, puts at any time or place, then that's up to you. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm just sharing my ideas and my analysis. Always remember to do your own analysis. I'd also like to thank you for watching this video. I hope you found this information useful and that you enjoyed the video. This is my first video on YouTube, even though I have been a trader for many years now. So yeah, as I said, if you found this information useful, please consider subscribing, leave a comment. um, I will be making lots of these videos, similar videos in the future, so if you're interested in trading, please consider subscribing and comment what stock you would like me to analyze. And with all that being said, thanks for watching. See you next